Holy crap, guys. I had some stuff going on in my personal life. Feeling a little under the weather. Honestly, at this point, fuck it. Let's send it. You're gonna hear the tube in the background. That's the old lady watching some TV. We're gonna make some shit up. Let's send it. We had last week, we had done a bunch of edge work. I might do a little bit of touch-up stuff. Hit the edge. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm still dealing with a thing. I'm gonna hit the edge with some cleaning stone, which is here. It's like a high grit stone, just to clean up some of the edge here. I'll sew this in, and I'll see about getting a strap on this thing. I'm probably gonna rivet it in, and then we'll see about finishing this thing out. And no, I'm not in my normal clothes. I work in construction, and it was raining all day today, so I don't have work, because I work in, I'll be honest with you, I work in concrete. Can't pour concrete in the rain. So let's do the damn thing. Say, put me up at the monkey. So here, if anybody's here, they're here for the riveting content of me grinding the edge of leather. What am I gonna say? And we're going from this, where it's kind of rough, and you know, it's fairly clean, but I just want to touch it up. And it might have been because I was mildly inebriated. No, mother. You ever done this? It takes time. So anybody else who's watching, not you, you know who you are. He's been bothering me for years. So I'm gonna react a certain type of way. And yes, I already have plans for my next project, which anybody who has a past like me will see some equivalences. It'll end up so, full disclosure, the next project, I'm gonna make me a hat. The patch, I'm probably going to laser cut, because, you know, I can do that. And the top of the bill, I think I'm gonna tattoo sans ink. Because I can also do that. Use a blunt needle, and I'm probably actually gonna see about doing a poll, what kind of image I should put on the top of the bill of my hat. So feel free to weigh in, because I don't know, I might listen, I might not. If it's cool, I'll listen. And I'm just doing a little bit of touch up here, because my last trek at this, I happened to have a little bit of an adult beverage, so it wasn't the best work I had ever done. Copyright struck. And then it seems dumb me doing this again, using a exceptionally high, like, I don't know what grit this would be called, but it's at least 1,000 grit stone at high speed. So it's more about friction than speed and friction than it is about actual grinding. But that's the issue with edge dressing. It's always about speed and friction. You can see it's super high grit, so it's taking very little off. Just enough to say it's taking grit, or just enough to say it's taking material. And very, very much you should be wearing a mask. Rule for thee, not for me. Do as I say, not as I do. I've been around enough hazardous things for my health. I'm also a grown-ass adult. I can make decisions. But if you're taking the question is, all I got is beautification. Really, all I have left is, because this is a plan. My daughter is right-handed. It's gonna sit on her right hip. I got this really nice shiny purple chrome tan leather. I'll explain the difference between chrome and veg tan in a second. But it's the main. I'm gonna sew it on, and then I'm gonna add a strap in. Yes. Quote, LOL, shiny for the kids. Yes, exactly. There's no other reason than it's shiny for a 7-year-old. I just gotta finish what I'm doing here, sew that on. I'm gonna rivet, which I have a double cap rivet set. Probably the silver small ones here. Rivet me a strap on. A strap onto the pouch. Weirdo. Then I'll be done with this one, and we'll see what else we can get into. And I'm not gonna finish the inside of this. I might finish the strap, the back side of the strap. So there's two, in leatherwork, it's the flesh side and the rough side. And if you look, you can definitely tell the difference. It's super smooth. It's like a finished wood, and then real rough, like a, well, rough leather. Excuse me. I'm not finishing the inside of the bag here, but I might do the back side of the strap just for shits and gigs, because it's all shits and gigs. It's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. I got a bigger buck and bass in my wall. Copyright struck. That. We're back at it, ladies and gents. Well, I know who's watching. Weirdos. It's weirdos. I promise. Copyright struck. Actually, I don't think that Jelly would copyright strike me. His label might, but I don't think that Jelly would actually copyright strike me. Fuck it. We're going to also use purple here because I'm running out of black thread. 1, 2, 3, 4. So generally it's recommended if you're trying to do more production, you do 3 to 4 times your length that your stitch is for thread. I'd do a little bit more, especially here, because it gives me a little bit of extra tail. It makes it a little bit more convenient for sewing. We're gonna be hand stitching again. John James, they're the name. We're just gonna do 1 needle this time. It's as similar to a saddle stitch as you can get without actually double needle saddle stitching. John James, these number 4s. They're saddler's needle. They're a blunt needle. They're still a needle. So that I just did, smarts. Well, I'd like to say it smarts. I didn't get any smarter doing it. Stay. Turn this around a little bit so we can you don't know. And I'm gonna double running stitch. So I'm gonna just stitch it in and out and in and out, and then come back. I'm gonna leave a lot here so I can go in between the leather and hide my stitch again. I promise it'll make sense here after I'm done stitching it on. Oh, it's literally all of the fun. No one else can have fun because I am having all of it. There's no more fun to be had. Get it knotted and tied. Or I can completely, I swear sometimes I'm French because I take thread and just braid it. All you gotta do is put a drink in my hand. Unpopular opinion, a jelly roll is a dell for people who are forklift qualified. I'm not forklift qualified, but I am excavator qualified. I 100% agree. Mostly because the boss doesn't have a forklift. He's also doesn't have a excavator qualification. But I can sling some dirt. Where's mine? Here. Yes. I'm basically a dwarf. I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole. Diggy diggy hole. Copyright struck. Thank you, Windrose. If you know, you know. And it's also worth it. Honestly, I should have waited to cut the lines. Just for ease of production. And right now I'm not super cranking down. You want to get it as tight as possible, but I'm going with the stitch line. I'm pulling with the stitch line here so it doesn't ripple like a piece of microwave bacon. You want it as tight as you can get, but if I pull and I crank down this way, it'll ripple like this. The line will. But if I pull this way, it'll ripple less. And it's a usage thing. The longer I do this, the more I know how tight to crank it down without it rippling. And it is until it feels right. Do what your heart tells you. Because if you do it too much, which will happen very, very quickly, like if you watch, the more I pull, the more it ripples. And it's worse with a saddle stitch than a double running that I'm doing because it's already locked in. With a saddle stitch, you're already locked in place. Or a double running like I'm doing, because a running is literally just like a fish. Through, and then you double it by coming through, back. For a saddle stitch, you're using 2 needles going through, out, and it's lock stitching as you go. It's super secure. Let's try to get a better camera angle. You might have a little bit of trouble seeing what I'm trying to explain is a running stitch. What I'm doing here, you go through and then you come back and through, and you just work your way down to the end of the stitch, and then you 180 and come back through. And you don't start locking the stitch in, because right now I'm going through the leather, fairly simple, and then I start stitching back, and I'm going through not only the leather, English, work, damn it, both brain and tongue. But I'm going through the leather and also the thread of the stitch going this way. It's locking that stitch in place. Where if I'm saddle stitching, I'm using 2 needles and I'm going through the leather, pulling, and going through the leather again. It's 1 stitch going this way. It's super secure because I'm locking the stitch in as I go. This is not quite as secure, but really I don't need the strength and security, and I don't feel like dealing with 2 needles getting stabbed in the hand, because that will happen every time on a saddle stitch. You will get stabbed every time. I'm just pulling a little bit of this tail. So I know I have enough thread. And unfortunately, you're limited on how far over you can go. Stay. Gravity. Good. And what I'm saying is the tighter I pull this, the more it ripples. Where if I loosen up, or if I were to pull this, you can see it's rippling. It's, like I said, a piece of microwave bacon. I'm gonna loosen that up a little bit. It's fairly flat. Buck don't give a damn, throw a dead buck on my Instagram. Copyright struck. If you know what song I'm singing already, you're as white trash as I am, and that's okay. Wall to wall and it still ain't sold out. I already know you know it. Probably humming it to yourself. And here, exact example. Fairly flat. Like there's a little bit of ripple. That's the risk you run with a running stitch. But if I crank down 90 degrees, you see how it's pulling tight? Like I'm trying to hold it out. You see how it's rippling there? Loosen that thread out. But now I'm pulling toward the stitching pony. No matter how much I do, it ain't rippling as bad. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to pull 90 degrees to the leather this way. because you're going to create a rippling effect on that stitch line, especially with as thin a leather as we have. So I'm pinching here. I got that thread, and I'm pulling just about as tight as I can. I don't want to waste thread. I'm already wasting enough. I'm doing a little bit extra for the tail. Yes, the question is, it matters how hard and what direction. That's where I'm getting. If you're pulling this way on the thread, like I am now, if you can see it's perpendicular to the stitch line, you'll get, if you can see, you'll get the waving, rippling that I keep mentioning. Where if you pull with the stitch line this way, you won't get that as much. And obviously if you grab this and you pull it with like a 4K winch, you're gonna get rippling. But if you pull it that way, perpendicular to the stitch line, you're gonna get it with the lightest tug. And that's one of the key things of a very amateurishly made product. And you don't need to really crank it down, because we're going to be locking the stitch in. But obviously you don't want this seam to start separating, and that's what I'm talking about. You see the rippling, like waves. And that'll kind of work out a little bit with use and wear. And that's one of the best parts of actual genuine leather products, is they age. And it sounds cheesy and forced, but they age. Just like wine, like cheese. Poorly made leather products age like milk. But well-made leather products, they age, they grow. I have a wallet that I carry every day, and it started out as basic waxed leather, and now it's beautiful. I don't have it on me. And here I'm not pulling super tight. I'm gonna get a couple stitches ahead of myself. The tail of my thread is getting tangled. Not pulling tight. That's another trick to prevent the rippling effect that I'm talking about, is you give yourself 3 or 4 stitches. So I go in, out, in, out. Allergies are a pain in the dick. And then I grab here and give it, I'm not cranking it down. Just a little love tug. Start the process all over again. And yes, I said a love tug. Do with that what you will. Bring it in, out. Working on out now. We're only talk together when I need a favor. Now. Copyright struck. Got a text message, I think. Nope. Instagram message. In, back out. Here's why I said I shouldn't have cut the tassels yet. Right now I'm actually fairly loose. Love tug. And the tighter I can keep my stitching pony to my stitch, the less movement my loose leather will have. And if you keep your tail past your needle a lot longer, you have a lot less to throw your needle. That's what I call it anyway, needle throw. It's a highly technical term that I literally just made up. Women. So I'm waiting, honestly, and I'm sure my wife is also, for my children to get in trouble. Because they randomly, for zero reason at all, they'll start singing cadence. No, I don't sing cadence at home. In the shower the other day, they started singing the chorus to Blood Upon the Risers. You know what I'm talking about? I've actually gotten in trouble with my grandmother-in-law. She's highly religious. I can't fault her for it. But she heard me around the house. This is years and years and years ago. Before we even had the miniatures. So this is 5-6 years ago. I wasn't even thinking about it. walking around the house, humming and singing, doodle bopping around, and she heard, because she happened to be staying over at the time, and she started, in the exact moment, a prayer chain. She called a friend of hers, started praying on the phone, and started singing the original Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. Long story short, I had a semi-awkward conversation with my wife. Because of it, she was understanding. Didn't mean anything by it. It was probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, that my 7, 5, and 3-year-old were in the shower. Entirely unsolicited. I was cleaning up the kitchen, finishing up a supper. They were in the shower. And they started the chorus of Blood Upon the Risers. And me being very proud of having earned that cadence, I started calling it. And they 100% followed me. I'm just getting the tassels tangled up in the thread. But then also, I'll be driving them to daycare or school, because we got a kindergartner and I believe a 2nd grader. No, I don't know. They will start singing things like Last Resort by Papa Roach. You know, cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a quack if I cut my arm bleeding. Yes. My old lady has them trained while singing Last Resort by Papa Roach. They don't say, don't give up. Don't give an F if I cut my arm bleeding. They say, don't give a quack. And I'm waiting for the day that I have to go in to the principal's office, because they were singing Blood by In This Moment this morning. And if you don't know it, that's about an abusive sexual relationship. Hadn't even thought about it. They know Dragula by the first 3 notes. The first 3 notes of Dragula, they can sing it almost word for word, exactly with Rob Zombie. And anybody who's not asking, I would genuinely recommend, especially you know who you are, try Bushlight Apple. It's 4%. It tastes a lot like a Red's apple cider, but not as thick, like mouthfeel wise. It's not as thick. And it's a lot more carbonated, and I recommend them. I'm just pulling more of my tail out. So instead of being here, just pull it out a little bit. It's a great angle. Blues like a can of Coke, baby, that's all we need. Press the candlelight, start a big bonfire out where. Copyright struck. And completely unrelated, unsolicited note. My next project is going to involve this wormhole rotary machine. Because what white trash a-hole doesn't have some type of tattoo gun. But if you think about it, leather, just cow skin. Do you want to see me try and get a good angle and tattoo a pattern into the leather? Let me know. A little too tight. Use a little horrible freight needle nose pliers. To and now we're here. Last stitch. Pull through one layer. Poke through one layer. And that's way too much, but I'd rather have too much than too little. And I'm just grabbing and I'm pulling with the stitch as much as I can. It's as simple as a square knot. As tight as I can get it. One of 87 million. And again, instead of running the blade against the thread, I'm gonna put the throat. You got the tip here, which I use all the time. You can actually, well, you might not be able to, but I can actually see right there is the thickest part of the leather I've ever cut. To that nick right there. So all of this is still razor blade sharp. So I'm going to take that part that I haven't used, that throat, and run the thread over it. I don't cut my leather. Stay there. Put that away. Move you back a little bit because you're all up in my face. The shit show that is my work desk. I'm just if you look, I'm just tapping down that stitch line. This is what you're looking at beforehand. Nice, good, flat, consistent stitch line. Now I just gotta finish that. We can start leather finishing. And this leather, I'm actually, if you see, vegetable tan leather is not good to do. Ariel. And I know I'm not talking very consistently. It's very not good to use this in your face with chrome tan, because there's two types of leather. There's vegetable tanned. It uses oak bark. It's a very long process. You got to get the tannins from the oak bark is the primary element. Hold for intelligence. Oak bark is the primary element to tan this. It's soaked in a vat of water with a S-ton of oak bark. And it permeates this, and the tannins tan it. It's a very long process. A lot of people do it with hunted pelts. Deer is a very big one. You take all the fur off of it and you either brain tan it, which is a whole different product, or you vegetable tan it. Vegetable tan is using, again, oak bark, It takes a year at least to vegetable tan yourself. They have a process that works a lot faster, but it takes a lot of time. Where this is chrome tan, they use a large vacuum chamber. They soak the leather. It's the same leather between the two, but they soak the chrome tan leather in chromium salt. Don't ask me what it is. I've refused to even look it up. But it's chromium salt, and it's a lot less, not that it matters to me, but it's a lot less eco-friendly. But it makes it a lot softer. That's what you get most of your apparel, your hold for intelligence. They use it for like furniture and jackets and most clothes, because it's a lot softer, it's a lot less rigid. This is exceptionally thin stuff, so it's very workable. This feels like a fabric. It feels like cloth. Like a cloth. It was just a random, that's my black leather dye rag. But that's the difference between the different types of leather, is chrome tan versus veg tan. There are a couple others, but they're super niche that I've never even seen a piece of. Like, there's faux leather. That's mostly like that's mostly used for like earrings. They come in small sheets. And there's vegan leather, which is the same thing as veg tan, but it's not animal flesh. I don't understand it. I don't get it, and I refuse to use it. Because it is stupidly expensive. Like, violently expensive. I'm just looking over here. That'll do. I'm just looking for a piece of leather. I got my strap cutter here. I don't know why I resisted getting a strap cutter as long as I did. I really don't. If you get into leather, it should be one of the first things you ever buy. I'm just cutting myself a little piece of strap. know how long that is. Seems legit. Let's make this. Let's make some shit up, right? That's kind of my catchphrase. Getting rid of my binder clips. Let's clean up our area, as my old man would say. Clean up your area. Clean up your area so that way you can do what you gotta do better than in a dirty area. Riding solo. Let's make some shit up. Cleaning up the edges. Can be kind of a pain in the dick to get it just right, because I'm just going to spread that out a little bit, crank it back down. I've gone a little bit narrower. I had it set an 1.5 inches. Now I got inch and 8/16, 7/16 ish. Literally just in between the 3/8 and the half mark. Just squaring up the edge. see, we're at an hour and a half, so we got some time. We got time. Basic printer paper. I put it down on my mat here. Just to catch any stray dye. Again, based on last week, anytime I pull out dye, I pull out rubber gloves. You don't have to be sterile. We're not doing surgery. A little mahogany here. Pretty sure that's my mahogany rag. And really, I should be dip dyeing, which is use like a piece of Tupperware or something and dip this in the dye to get a really consistent color. But I don't have a tub for it, so I'm not going to. And you can see the rough side versus the smooth side. How it dyes. You almost have to pad this versus rub. Here chilling with myself. Flag 1 moderated, 2 moderated, 3 moderated, stuck. Super inconsistent. Perfect for my midgets. Most people will ask, why didn't you just leave that there? If it wasn't hurting anything, give your self-healing mat a little bit of extra. It pisses me off. It's as simple as that. It pisses me off. You can't get a consistent cut about anything. This. Sure. Just a long handsome officer. If you ever wonder why. I guess I'm just a little copyright struck. Eyeball the fuck out of that. I'm gonna wax that up. Quack! Pretty sure this is the one. Notice I pull it over, I set it down. I have made the mistake during allergy season. Pick it up, open it, and then sneeze. Kind of semi-knowledge, semi-eyeball. These, if you ever start doing leather, these little dots from the hole puncher, the bane of your existence. Absolute bane of your existence. Doesn't seem like much, but you get something that you're finishing, and one of those is down on your finishing surface. You run it across, and now you get a line. Because they're the same hardness. It will create a line. It will drive you absolutely insane. This is about to be loud. Yeah, strap time. I've been using this hole punch for pattern paper and shit. Paper does not go through a punch. So if you look, hole punch, and then you actually got a slot for the little hole punchy pieces to go through. It is a very consistent size. A bit of tool maintenance. Paper does not go through. Talk about a wad of paper just caught. It's a technical term. Again, do not pick these up. And if you do and you feel like you have to sneeze, put them down. It's a lot simpler to put them down and re-pick them up than it is to re-pick them up after you've yeeted them all over the floor. You better not, you twitchy little bastard. And these are double cap rivets. They're rapid rivets. You can actually kind of, there's a real small, I got the really small versions right now. There's smaller ones and larger ones. And then also the post is a lot larger. I got the really smalls. And they actually kind of, because if you look on the stud, there's a little bit of a groove there that the cap snaps into. Real light snap, but the cap snaps into, and it kind of, it almost holds it in place, almost. So this is what's called a rivet set kit. There's a dimpled side that's more for snaps. There's a really domed side. It's for larger ones. And then you actually have your rivet head sizes. There's your bigger one. Randomly. There's your smaller one. They lock in. So it prevents them from flattening out entirely. Because if you don't use it, right? Because this side completely flat. That side still domed. Still punch out. Still locked, cocked, ready to rock. And if you ever decide to try this, start with the dome side. Even if you're gonna go flat, start with the dome side. It gives you a little bit of side to side wiggle room. It locks in. Like, I know I'm gonna go flat with this. Snap that head in. I went domed because this is a little bit domed. That one is completely flat. I went domed previously. They're completely flat. They're super cheap aluminum, whatever. Still nice, flat domed rivets. Drop my rivet. Wouldn't it be funny if I had to clip a rivet because I got this thing twisted? No, no it wouldn't. It would be aggravating as all kinds of hell. Cap. Snip. It's basically just preloading with it. Use what's basically a tackle box tray, they said. It'll be great, they said. Flatten it out, get her smacked down. I genuinely, I'm hoping. They're a lot of work, so I don't know that I could justify the cost of what they would cost for consumers. But, and also, it costs money to list on Etsy. I'll be completely honest with you, I am flat fucking broke. I'm a model now. I can add that to my resume. Almost done. We really are. I promise you. We're marathoning this shit now. You ain't gotta hang around, but I'm marathoning this until we get done tonight. Got a little bit left. Some surface treatment, and then we coo. So this. And right now I'm just sanding this down with a touch. believe this is a 120 grit. I know I already dyed it and it's cutting away a lot of the dyed leather, but I'd rather have a little bit smoother. Just decides sometimes. Got too much load, cut it off. I really should get a mask at some point. Battery's dead. Battery. Oh, manuale. A bit of this. Slicker. I've had this since I started working leather. It's been shit. 2017. The slicker, not the tokenol. I had the tokenol for like 2 months. I know you can't feel it, but I bet you can see it. That's near the same like feel. Like you can tell this is different, but comparatively, this is sandpaper, this is glass. Tokenol, it's a Japanese edge dressing product. Like you can even see I started there. It's already starting. Glass smooth. Like the mayonnaise of leatherwork. Should you use it on everything? Probably not. Is it good for you? Also probably not. Will you do it anyway? Probably. Done. God, I love this stuff. Right? Like it's wild, the different concepts and products that are out there that can really change what you're doing. Like I'll be honest, I was resistant to Tokenol for a long time. I've known about it since I started doing leather, and it seemed like that snake oil miracle product, but now that I'm using it, I will always have it on hand. And it's not the slicker. I got a metal edge ruler. Anything to force, that actually works better. Anything to force the fibers of the leather, because you can see the loose fibers there. See how tight they are. I can't sing the praises of this product enough. Like I said, I used to think it was the old school snake oil product. People swearing its praises because they bought it, and now they feel like a jackass because they spent money on it. I mean, if I buy something and it's not worth the time of day, I'll tell you. Thank you, Chuck Dorset from Weaver Leather Supply, for showing me this trick. He's a big use water, because you very well actually very much can use water for edge work. Works just as well. I don't have water in my shop. really it's an office, but I call it a shop while we're on stream here. And it's not about pressure, it's about friction and time. Unfinished, finished. Try to cut in and knocked out his front. Copyright struck. I don't know what I'm listening to. Like, I know the current song, but after that, Spotify playlist of some sort. Absolutely riveting stuff, guys. You get it? Riveting. Dad joke of the day. You get over it, I promise. It's not funny. Don't laugh. And honestly, I'm probably overusing the shit out of this stuff. Pound sign worth it. Absolutely. I don't ban people. I ban the bots that are trying to sell me followers. Because y'all are grown-ass adults. Anybody watching me, it's said right in my bio. Act like a grown-ass adult. I'm not here to be your daddy. I'm not here to be your mama. Get over yourself, act like a grown-ass adult. If you can't do that, then I'll take action. Also remember, you're not gonna convince anybody to change on a keyboard. We'll talk about politics. 5 things you shouldn't talk about in the workplace also belongs on this stream. War, abortion, religion, politics, and money. 5 things you don't talk about here. I have my opinions, you have yours. Get over yourself. You've already gotten over me, I don't give a fuck. You won't hear my opinion, I don't want to hear yours. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink. Close now. Here I am. Question is, should I wax it? Because I have a process. Natural beeswax. Thank you. Website that matches a river in South America. You can't see shit. Got some natural, all natural beeswax. Like I said, from a website that matches a river in South America. And the highest quality of horrible freight heat guns. Add some wax, really seal in the dye. I think I'm gonna call it. You know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it for the night. For this project, we'll start with the next project next week. Because yes, every Wednesday between 7:30 and 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock, depending on how work goes, how life goes. Because I ain't making any money off of this shit. I'd like to. If you wanna go buy a product, VasicArmoryandLeatherwork.com. You might actually have to directly search it. Yeah, I hope you're not epileptic. Otherwise, you know who you are. Catch you on the next one, brother. Be safe. Take it easy.